Hi everyone and welcome to NLTI. CLAT Consortium has released the second sample paper and today we are going to analyze the sample paper in depth so that we can understand how to prepare well. Alright, so stay till the end and let's get started. Alright, so let's get started and let's understand the format of the exam first of all. Alright, so the format is going to remain the same as of the previous years. There are going to be 120 questions and there are going to be 120 marks, right? For every, there is going to be negative marking, which means for every incorrect answer, there is going to be deduction of 0.25 marks, right? And the duration is also going to be 2 hours, which means 120 minutes. The mode of the exam is going to be offline and the questions are going to be all multiple choice. Alright, so let's quickly understand the section-wise distribution that happens in the actual exam. So in the English section, usually there are 22 to 26 questions, right, which means around 20% of the weightage of the total exam. In the current affairs and GK section, there are around 28 to 32 questions, which means around 25% of the exam weightage. In the legal reasoning section, again, the question number is usually around 28 to 32. 25% of the total weightage of the exam. Logical reasoning has questions around 22 to 26, around 20% of the weightage, and the quantitative technique section has 10 to 14 questions, which means around 10% of the weightage of the total exam. Let's analyze the sample paper section by section and understand what sort of questions can be asked. Alright, let's get started with the English sample paper first. Alright, so in this sample paper, there you will see that around 25 questions have been asked. Total 5 passages are there. Each passage has around 5 questions, right? So the first passage was around integration of artificial intelligence into the legal systems, right? If we look at the passage carefully, right, the passage was not too long. If you spend around 2 to 3 minutes to read this carefully, it's pretty much doable, right? Also, the language of the passage was also fairly simple. Now, the questions, the type of questions were exactly how they've been in the past question papers, right? So, there were inference-based questions, there were argument assumption questions, right? There were deduction questions. What do you deduce from the passage? There were deduction-based questions. Basically, what do you deduce from the passage? And that is something which we have seen throughout, right? And there was also one question based on the tonality of the passage, right? So if you read the passage carefully, then all these questions, all 5 questions are pretty much doable. Moving ahead with the second passage was based on appetite versus morality, right? Where different theories by different jurists have been explained and have been discussed, right? Now, the basic theme was how different philosophers has explained and described moral compartmentalization. The basic theme was how different philosophers and jurists have described and explained the concept of moral compartmentalization, right? Now, if we go to the questions, right, the questions were directly from the passage, right? You have to deduce the meaning of different terms. There were some vocabulary-based questions as well, right? But mainly the questions were about inference-based questions, right? What sort of conclusion you draw out of the passage. So fairly direct, similar to the first passage. We saw one question which was regarding exceptions also, right? As of the following are true, except. So an exception-based question was also there. Right, now moving ahead to the third passage. The third passage was based on myths and human cooperation, right? And this is something which has been discussed. If we look at the length of the passage again, right, it's fairly, see, the language is fairly simple and direct. It's not really complicated. Also, the length of the passage is around 350 to 450 words, which means you have to devote around 2 to 3 minutes to read it carefully. But once you've read the passage carefully, it's going to be really easy for you to answer the questions because, again, just like the other passages, the questions were inference-based questions in this passage as well, right? Some vocabulary-based questions, you have to find the meaning of this term based on the passage, right? So some such questions were also there. Also, one more exception-based question, just like the second passage that we have seen, right? That has been observed. The fourth passage was around India's G20 presidency. One thing that we can observe is that passages have been taken from contemporary issues as well, right? So, yes, this was the passage. Again, length of the passage is fairly decent. Around 1.5 to 2 minutes are enough to read this passage carefully. And once you've read the passage, let's go to the questions, right? The objective of the passage, meaning of the term exceptional responsibility, India's approach based on the passage, right? Everything is based on the passage, and all the answers you can actually find in the passage only, or you can deduce if you've read the passage carefully, right? So this is fairly simple. And the last passage in this section was around war and just war theory, right? And again, the length of the passage remains the same, around 350 to 450 words. The time that will be taken to read is going to be little longer than the other ones, because the details that are given in this passage are a little more important, right? So it might take you a little bit more time, maybe 1.5 minutes more, but otherwise fairly doable passage, right? Now, the type of questions that are there, the concept of just war includes all except. Again, an exception based question is there. Meaning of the term perish, right? Which basically is synonym that you have to find here. Prevention of another world war requires. Now, this is directly something which you can find in the passage, and you can find the answer, and you can very easily answer this question, right? The passage implies that human destructive capacity. Now, what basically the passage implies, right? So if you've read the passage carefully, you can answer it. Again, an exception-based question, right? Just like second and third passage. Now, what we can take away from the analysis of the English section from the sample paper is that there were around 25 questions, right? And the difficulty level was easy to moderate, right? And more questions, most of the questions were based on inference, comprehension, right? And critical reading. So if you devote around 24 to 30 minutes to actually solve this passage or solve this section, it's going to be more than enough, right? And what sort of questions we observed? We saw that there were inference-based questions where you had to read the passage carefully and draw a conclusion. There were questions based on the author's attitude and tonality of the passage. There were some vocabulary-based questions as well, right? And logical continuation, you had to predict what should logically follow the passage. And we saw a few exception-based questions as well, right? So this is the type of questions that we found. Now, if you have to really do a comprehensive preparation for the English section, then please keep these things in mind. Please read the passage carefully, right? And do not read it just for the sake of reading the content. You have to read it to understand it properly, right? Also, try to understand the author's argument, the author's objective, and the tonality of the passage. There are going to be some transition words like however, yet, but, though, and much more. Mark these transition words. They're going to be really important, right? Also, please practice as many inference-based questions as you can, because these questions, they may seem simple, but when it really comes to attempt those questions, you can make mistakes. So if you've practiced it well, it's going to be much better for you, right? And build your vocabulary not through isolated lists, but through reading. So read as much as you can, and only then you can have a good vocabulary for the exam, and focus on active reading, right? This is something which we have observed, that reading is one very important part if you really want to score well. So the better and the sooner and the quicker you read the entire passage, your chances of scoring more marks will increase, right? And manage time properly. Do not invest more than 5 to 6 minutes for one passage, which includes question solving as well, by the way, right? And what is recommended, that you read newspapers like the Indian Express, the Hindu, you read TED article collections, and you also read Supreme Court, recent and the most important judgments that have been pronounced this year. If not the entire judgment, you can read the case summaries also, so that you know about the issues. It will be easier for you. However, do not overread the passage. Do not waste your time in reading, do not waste a lot of your time in just reading the passage, right? Stick to whatever has been written. And if there is confusion in the main idea, right, try to find the supporting details. It's going to help you to answer the questions better, right? And do not assume author's personal opinion. Please focus on whatever the passage is saying, because all your questions are based on the passage, not what the author actually intends. And do not rush through the vocabulary questions. Take some time, right? Think with a cool mind. It's going to be easier for you to answer that way. And please reread the relevant sections before answering, right? Even if you've identified that the answer lies in this line, it's always better to go back and confirm by rereading, all right? So please keep these things in mind for the English section. Now let's proceed ahead with the next section, which is, all right, let's continue with the analysis of the next section, which is the legal reasoning section. So this section had 6 passages. Each passage had 5 questions, which means there were 30 questions. Now we'll just quickly analyze each passage one by one. So the first passage was around the new criminal laws, right? 1 year of these laws have been completed. So a passage was based on discussing how this 1 year has been, right? So now if we go to the questions, and if we just read the questions only. So the question says, based on the passage, right? So basically, which means you have to read the passage and then you can answer this question. Based on the passage, which of the following is most accurate? Second question, which reasoning based solely on the passage best supports the government's defense? Again, if you've read the passage carefully, you can answer the question well. So the third question again is, which of the following passage-based arguments most strongly weakens this claim, right? So it's an analytical question, right? So you have to actually identify the argument which is weakening the claim that has been made in the passage itself. All right. So again, a great passage-based question that is there. Fourth question is an application-based question, right? A situation has been given and based on the passage, which constitutional challenge is most likely to succeed, right? Again, if you've read, it's an inference-based question. If you've read it properly, if you read the passage carefully, you can draw the conclusion very easily, right? And the fifth question, again, which statement from the passage most directly counters this argument? So clearly, all 5 questions could have been answered really well if you've read the passage carefully. The passage, again, if we go and check the length of the passage, it's not going to be very difficult. It's fairly small and direct passage. Hardly 2 to 2.5 minutes or maybe less than that will be taken to actually read this passage properly. Now, moving ahead with the second passage, right, it was around power of the governors, which has been discussed in a very important 2025 judgment, State of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu, right? A very important judgment. Now, if we look at the length of the passage, it is just a discussion which has happened in the judgment, right? So even if you do not know about what has exactly happened in the judgment, that's absolutely fine, right? What is important that you read the passage carefully and try to understand the legal reasoning that the court has given, because that is going to help you to answer the questions. Now, if we look at the questions now, right? So, based on the reasoning in the passage, which is the most appropriate conclusion, right? So, you have to deduce a conclusion based on whatever reasoning, legal reasoning the court has given in the passage, right? In that judgment. Second question, according to the passage, right, which of the following was a major concern? And again, the answer to this is directly there in the passage, right? Third is an assertion reasoning based question solely based on the passage. Fourth is an application based question where the principle has been given, right? The assertion reasoning is there and then you have to find the correct statement, right? Fifth, again, is an application-based question, right? A situation has been given, right? And you have to apply the principle that has been outlined in the passage, right? An application-based question. All right, now the third passage is around the firecracker ban that has happened in NCR, right? It's around the same. And yeah, if we look at the length of the passage, right, it's discussing something really basic and simple, right? And the language is fairly straightforward, fairly direct, and the length of the passage is also just like other passages. It's the same only, right? It's around 250 to 300 words only, right? Now, if we look at the questions based on this reasoning, now the reasoning that the court has given in the passage, based on this reasoning, which inference is most consistent, right? So again, our inference based question is here, right? Second question is an assertion reasoning based question, right? Again, the third question is an analytical question, right? The principle has been given and based on everything that has been discussed in the passage, you have to deduce a meaning, right? And the fourth question is again based on the court's reasoning given in the passage. So if you've read it carefully, you can answer it well. And the fifth one is basically the objective of the passage, right? So if you've read the passage properly, you have to deduce what was the objective and what basically the court has held, right? That is something which has been tested and fairly easy to do if the passage has been read carefully. Now, the fourth passage is around Supreme Court's opinion regarding sex education to be given to children before class 9th, right? This is something which has been discussed in this entire passage, right? And again, the passage length, just like the other passage, is going to take you around 2 to 3 minutes to read. Now, let's go to the question. First is an inference-based question. Which inference is most consistent with the court's reasoning, right? So again, an inference-based question. Second question is an application-based question. The principle has been given, the facts has been given, and you have to apply the principle and find the correct meaning. Third is an assertion reasoning-based question, again based on the passage only. Fourth is again an analytical question, right? You have to answer this question keeping in mind the reasoning that court has given in the passage, right? And fifth question, lastly, is around reasoning, basically around the reasoning that the court has given. You have to justify the reasoning. Fifth question is again a reasoning based question, right? You have to read the passage carefully and you have to try and understand what were the reasons behind whatever opinion court holds on this issue, right? And based on the same, you have to answer this question. So again, it's much more based on inference, right? And drawing a conclusion and understanding the reason behind every judgment or every opinion that court has framed. All three passages that we have read so far have been around the same. All four, I'm sorry. The fifth passage is around judicial service qualification, right? And it has been taken from another judgment of year 2025, where 3-year experience in litigation has been made mandatory for the judicial aspirants, basically, right? It is a reasoning given by the court has been discussed in this passage for that judgment. Right now, if we go to the questions, we'll see that first is an application-based question. A situation has been given, and based on what the court has reasoned in the passage, you have to answer the correct. You have to find the correct answer. Second, again, is an application-based question. A scenario, a situation has been given. You have to apply the principle, the argument which the court has made in the passage, right? And you have to apply the court's reasoning and you have to solve this. Third, again, is an application-based question. The principle has been given, a situation has been given. You have to apply the principle to the situation and you have to find the most appropriate solution to the same. Fourth question is again based on, Fourth question is again an application-based question, right? You have to apply court's reasoning that has been given in the passage, and you have to come to a well-founded conclusion. Last question is again understanding the reasoning or the rationale behind the court's insistence. Now, whatever the court has decided in that judgment, behind the same, what is the reason? What was the objective? That has to be understood, right? That is something which has been tested. And this sort of question is being tested the third time, right? So almost in every passage that has been there has been one question which is only testing the objective behind the decision of the court, right? So what can we take away from the analysis? That the legal reasoning section had around 30 questions. The difficulty level was moderate to high. A lot of questions were based on legal principles or Supreme Court judgments, right? And how well you can understand the principle, how well you can understand the reasoning that has been given by the court was something that was tested, right? There were questions based on statutory interpretation, right? How do you apply principles to the facts? Assertion reasoning based questions were there, right? And there were principle fact based questions and argument strengthening and weakening questions. 2 to 3 questions were there, and a lot of questions were there where scenarios or situations were given, and you had to apply the court's reasoning and come to the well-founded conclusion. All right, moving ahead with the next section of the sample paper, which is the logical reasoning section, right? Let's see what sort of questions were there. There were around 25 questions that were there in the logical reasoning section, right? Out of which 17 were passage based and 8 questions were based on sitting arrangement problem, right? So now we'll just go through the passage one by one. We'll just go through the passages one by one, and let's just see what sort of passages were there and what sort of questions were asked. So from the first passage, right, the questions were about the argument analysis, right? You had to find which among the following will most strengthen the argument. So argument analysis was tested in this question. Second was regarding deducing the logic, right? Which of the following can be logically inferred? And then you had to, it's all of it is based on the passage, by the way, right? Once you have read the passage, and then if you go to the questions, it's going to make much more sense to you. Then again, an assumption based question, right? Which assumption is implicit in here, right? The fourth question was regarding the passage list which of the following has a potential economic benefit, right? So the answer to this will be the answer to this question can directly be found in the passage itself, right? Fairly direct questions so far, if you can see. Which governance challenge in India is mentioned in the passage as complicating a nighttime economy, right? So the answer to this is again directly there in the passage. Read the passage carefully and you can understand and you can find the answer right there. According to the passage, pilot permissions for so-and-so failed in some districts because of what? So again, it mentions according to the passage, which means the answer is going to be there in the passage directly. Now, the second passage, again, see, overall the length of the passages has been uniform for all the sections, right? The word count for the same, the word count for all the passages have been pretty much the same only. So in the second passage, if we go to the questions now, we'll see that the questions are mostly from the passage, right? What has been given in the passage, you just have to analyze it properly and you have to find the answers, and then you have to basically select the correct option here. First question is based from the passage. Second question is again, which of the following is cited as a concern in the passage, right? Again, the answer to this is directly there in the passage itself. Third question is, what risk does the passage mention? So the risks have been mentioned there. You have to identify, you have to find the correct answer in the passage and answer it, right? Fourth is, which of the following is a flaw in the reasoning of proponents? Again, directly a question from the passage. Fifth question, which statement would most weaken the argument? Right, now this is an argument analysis question, right? So you have to read all the arguments carefully, and then you have to understand, you have to read all the statements carefully, and then you have to analyze what is the argument that has been given in the passage, and based on the same, you have to think which statement can actually weaken the argument that has been made in the passage. The last question from this passage is regarding finding a paradox in context of the passage, right? So basically, again, it remains the same if you have read the passage carefully, right? It's pretty much direct and simple. Even logical reasoning is fairly direct and simple based on all the questions are based on the passages only. Now, in the third passage, right, if we go to the questions directly, okay, now first is a cause-effect relationship question, right, which you can very easily deduce from the passage. Second question is logical inference. You have to find the logic from the passage, right? Third is an assertion reasoning based question. Statements have been taken from the passage only, right? And then you have to find if the assertion is well reasoned or not. Okay. Now, these are a different type of questions that have been tested here. What is happening from question number 16 to 18 is that for each question, a paragraph has been given, and then based on that paragraph, a question has been asked, right? So there is a separate paragraph that has been given, and you have to answer this question based on this paragraph. So which of the following would be most useful to evaluate the credibility of the report's conclusion? This paragraph will answer this, right? So you have to critically analyze the paragraph, read it carefully, and draw an inference. Similarly, question number 17th and question number 18th, right? Passages have been given, and one question is only one question is there for one passage, right? Lastly, the fifth passage is a sitting arrangement problem that has been given, and 8 questions, right, are from that sitting arrangement problem only. So, what can we take away from the analysis of the logical reasoning section? That there were 25 questions. The difficulty level was easy to medium, right? And around 30 to 35 minutes you can devote to solve all these questions carefully, right? There were sitting arrangement based questions for a change that we saw, right? And otherwise, the questions were more about argument analysis, right? Logical reasoning, inference of the logic basically, right? And implicit assumptions, the detection of inconsistency in the logic that was also tested, and analysis of policies, and otherwise some situations and problems were given, you had to solve those. And of course, sitting arrangement questions were also there, right? So what can we take away overall from this analysis of the entire sample paper, right? That the English section was fairly easy, right? And it was, the difficulty level was easy to moderate. If you read the passages carefully, read it critically, and focus more on inference and solve more inference based questions, right? It's going to be much easier for you to answer the questions quickly and correctly. For legal reasoning, the difficulty level was moderate, right? A lot of passages were from recent judgments. So if you have a little bit knowledge about what all is happening in the legal world, and if you can apply it well, right, then it was fairly easy to attempt section. And for logical reasoning, the questions were again easy to moderate. A lot of it was based on argument analysis, logic deduction. A lot of it was based on argument analysis, logic deduction, and also sitting arrangement, right? So make sure you keep this sample paper in mind while preparing, and solve as many practice tests and practice questions as you can, so that you do not make any mistake, especially in the inference-based questions. So this was the analysis of sample paper 2. Stay tuned for more such informative videos. Thank you.